What's good, superstars? Back with another living on my brokerage account video. We are in the thick of it. We have started to live for the most part out of our brokerage. I'm going to explain my cash flow. If you're new here, hit subscribe button, smash the thumbs up button, and just leave a comment if you got any questions and let me know your experience doing anything similar to this. But anyway, this is my cash flow diagram. Basically, I deposit my paycheck or any other income that we get. I'll explain how it goes, but basically the paycheck money 60-40 is going into growth or high yield slash leap slash XEQT. My growth is in my margin account. That is stuff that I don't plan to ever sell. So I buy shares, it stays in the margin account long term. You hope that over time we get appreciation and helps you grow your equity and take away from the margin, I guess, percentage of your portfolio. And then my TFSA, originally I was doing high yield. I've transitioned since then to basically XEQT VT. I had some leaps on as well. I have a TQQQ leap on, and that's pretty much the TFSA for now. Basically trying to grow that to a point where we can convert the TFSA only into some higher yielding funds down the line when it comes time to retire. I was going to convert it earlier and then use it to help pay down margin, but I'm thinking go the full distance to where we're comfortable with the size of the portfolio and then do the conversion at that point. So I think high yield is going to be a lot further in my future. Let me know what you think about that. Anyway, the margin account, it grows, it opens up margin for use for additional funds, or I could do like put credit spreads or something, options, that type of thing with the extra space to help generate more income. That might be something I do down the line. I was experimenting with it early on, about a 50-50% success rate. So don't think it's something that I need to be doing right now at this moment. Just got to focus on growing the portfolio. In the TFSA, it provides distributions on a monthly basis. I still have a few high yielding funds that I'm hoping help cover my margin expenses, but again, not necessary if my margin account is growing. It can take it from that space that opens up. So we'll see what happens. But any distributions that it does make, I do reinvest them back into the TFSA. So last month, I think we made like $90 something. Huge discount from the previous month, but covered enough to cover my margin expenses. But anyway, I reinvested all $93 into high yielding funds. So that'll be a cyclical snowball that we continue to do. Hopefully it grows over time, but it's not required because we're still focusing on growth of the underlying portfolio. I have other deposits come in. For example, if I come across any kind of cash, promotional money, somebody gives me 20 bucks, that type of thing, that's going into the margin account just strictly to pay down margin. It's not going to be invested. An RRSP top up, I have ballooned my RRSP. I know a lot of people don't like to withdraw prior to retirement, but I do need to reallocate and start to make my TFSA my primary account. Right now my RRSP is my largest account, and I'd rather have a maxed out TFSA. And also it helps because my TFSA is linked with my margin account. It helps me to increase the amount of collateral and then amount of margin overall, right? So basically we're topping up with RSP as needed, and then what we'll do is we'll be paying bills out of the margin account. This says 70 to 100% of the deposit value, so that we're hoping that we're spending less than we make, and that's why it says 70 to 100%. But really, if you are spending over 50% of what you deposit into your margin account, then your equity will drop because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So we're going to try and maintain 50% plus equity. Not quite there yet. We have done an RRSP top up, which you can see here, and I'm topping up with RRSP directly into the TFSA. Right now, my first top up, I only put it into cash into the TFSA. I'm deciding on what I want to put that into because I do have XEQT as the main fund in there right now. I have VFV in my TFSA as well as a separate kind of allocation for something else. So I don't want to use VFV. I know that like any extra money I need for taxes, I've been investing into the TFSA into VFV, for example. So at the end of the year, when it comes, if I need to pay taxes, I pull from that VFV fund. It's allocated for that. I hope that it grows over time. We'll see what happens. Last couple of weeks, months, it's been pretty sideways. So we'll get into that. But anyway, let's go into the portfolio. This is my breakdown of my portfolio. Growth, high yield. I've got single stocks, index funds, and crypto/commodities. for both the growth and the high yield sections. But if you can see here in the high yield or TFSA, this should be changing to TFSA. I should do that. I also have XEQT, VT. XEQT is when I have Canadian funds. VT is when I have American funds. And then Leaps, I have a TQQQ on right now for over a year, I think. And then cash was if I have to hold any cash. I do have cash in my TFSA, but I'm not allocating it towards this because I want to see how the fund performs. So I could probably delete that line on the portfolio breakdown. Anyway, this is in terms of percentage for each individual account, and then this is the overall account percentage targets, and this is the actual. The green is the actual. So you can see that we're pretty close on all of the numbers. A little high on the high yield index funds, so we got to bring that down a little bit. Won't be investing into those for a little bit. And even crypto commodities, high yields are a little high. XEQT, we've pretty much solely been investing into that, so that's gone up. VT, I've not been doing that. I'm waiting for journaling to come to Wealthsimple. I'm in Canada, I'm using Wealthsimple. It's coming in 2026. When that does happen, any overages that I have in XEQT, I'll probably convert the shares. I'll do like a Norbert's Gambit, get some USD, and then put them into VT. So these numbers might be off for a little bit. As long as that number kind of gets close to these two, so that was 25% and we allocated 26%. I can see that even being a lot larger than that as I'm investing, because I've been literally solely putting everything into XEQT when it comes to the TFSA side of things. Here's my funds. Red are down, green are up. This is just NAV. Any distributions are not included in that. Anything you see in pink is something that the sheet will not pick up automatically, so I have to update at the end of the trading day to be accurate. But we are up 5% on the margin account, which is nice, in September. And then the TFSA, we are down 13%. We did take some major capital losses on some high yield funds, and that is probably why we're down so much. But anyway, like you can see, the capital losses that we took were around $1,500, and the total account is down $1,600. So since then, we're down $100. Our equity is at 49.22, which I'm not too sweating about. I mean, that can move up to 51 in a day. Margin buffer is nice, 79%. This is for my funds, including the margin. So it's pretty much, if you divide that in two, that's how much the portfolio could drop before a margin call. So I think we're around 40%, which is still pretty comfortable for me. And yeah, so that's the funds. If I go into my projection sheet, this is the sheet where you kind of get an idea of where we're going. We are in month 7. So it's been a pretty sideways. We started this probably one of the worst times. I know October is when the downfall kind of started in the market. But overall, the account has been growing. If you look at the total portfolio value, this month I did put in $10,000 top up from the RRSP. It's the first month that I've done that, and it helped with the equity. You can see we were dropping like crazy with equity because we were taking out more than we weren't even taking out 100%, but more than 50%, right? And I told you, if you take out more than 50%, your equity will drop. So we did a huge top up, 10,000 to start the month. I still have taken out, and I've also taken out more than I've put in this month in terms of cash. Just putting in money as it comes in. So basically, as this gets larger, that will help the equity, as long as we're not taking out more than we put in. But looking to put in some more on a monthly basis. It might not be every single month, but just have some placeholders there. And you can see the equity, the portfolio account is going to grow pretty quickly over this time if we get a decent return. Right now, I'm estimating a 7% annual return, which we are not getting so far on the year with the S&P, I don't think. But anyway, that my portfolio is pretty well targeted to index funds, like a majority of it. So we're going to pretty much track that growth or downfall. But I mean, as long as we keep adding, we keep buying assets, that is the goal. You can see the margin account has finally caught up to and passed the TFSA account. When we first started, we had a 40-60 split the other way, and now we've completely flipped it, and we're starting to grow the the margin side of things. And this is the stuff that we will buy and never sell. You can see the interest last month was $52. This month I'm projecting around $85. My margin debt going up a few thousand this month. Right now that's where we're at, but it's going to be higher than that. It'll probably be closer to 28,000. Monthly floats, these are just money I put in. This is money I've taken out. This is money I've topped up from the RRSP. Right now it's in cash. You can see my cash is around $10,000. pretty close to that. And potential dividends. So what this is I take a blended yield of my funds that I do have already in my account, and I times it by 90%, because any American funds I'm going to get a 15% withholding, but I do have Canadian funds, so I don't want to take the whole 15% off. So I'm taking only 10% off of my total returns to account for the US funds. So my blended yield right now is around 16%. So if I were to take this number, my TFSA number, because that's the number that I would be converting into high yield funds, I'm not going to be changing any of my margin growth stuff. That's staying growth, and I'm never selling. So this side, I'm a little bit more flexible. The tax events obviously won't happen in the TFSA. So if I take that 16,000 and I were to get a 16% yield, my monthly payout would be $361. Currently, I haven't put in what I'm getting this month so far, but I've made a few bucks. Obviously, a lot of the Canadian payers have paid off. I think I've only made like 20 bucks or something like that so far. But regardless, this is what it would be. So if we track down here, it looks like we're going to be making around 4,800. That would be like in year 5. And then like 10,000 a month would be in year 7. We could accelerate that by putting in more deposits, by having a positive market. Right now we've had a negative market, so it's pushed the numbers down, right? If the market starts to come up and we start to grow the account size, and we can start to put more money into the TFSA, then this number will come up higher over here. The whole point, we got to grow that TFSA. The bigger the TFSA grows, and we convert it into this 16% yield or whatever it is, then we'll see that number here. And then that's when we can kind of start to decide, okay, retirement or work optional type of thing. So that's how the system works. Right now we're pushed out to like 7 years before it's like 10 grand a month, which is probably pretty comfortable. But if you want to be even safer than that, we're looking at like year 9 or 10, which is not too bad, but I think we're going to accelerate that. We have started, like I said, in a huge lull period, and you know, the market has ups and downs. So we go through the downs. Hopefully on the ups, we start to see some of the fruits of our labor. But anyway, that is the whole update for this couple of weeks. I'm doing these every 2 weeks. I'm also updating my dividend snowball videos. I've started using AI to help me with that, and that's been pretty successful. I can't wait to update you guys on that next week. I'll show you how it's been doing. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you don't mind, like I said, hit the subscribe button if you've been loving the living out of the brokerage account stuff, or even the dividend snowball stuff. I've got other ideas on the way. I'm thinking of doing like some kind of sports betting with AI ideas. I got lots of different things in the pipeline that I'm thinking about, even ways to make money with side hustles. So if you guys like that type of stuff, if you're just interested in watching my journey, hit subscribe, smash the thumbs up button, and we'll see you in the next one. I love you. Bye.